All right. Disney's live action Beauty and the Beast was just so spectacular. It was so much fun. Best of all, it expands upon the story that we originally saw in the animated version. I mean, it's so great. First off, the songs. Oh my gosh, I just felt like it was a real treat being able to just be in theaters and get to actually just enjoy like how they incorporated the music from the animated version. Like, don't get me wrong, this isn't like saying like, oh my gosh, it's so great to see it in theaters. I mean, I know that came out back when they had the special edition that they showed in theaters back in, like, I want to say 2011-ish or so. But here it's just got its own different thing just going on. It's got its charm to it. It's still those captivating lyrics, but it's fascinating to see how they go through it. Not to say that all of it is perfect. You can obviously see where they're trying to recreate certain moments, but I do like the liberties in which they take to understand where they have their strengths versus animation. The animation was beautiful, the songs were just so engaging, and here they're doing the same, just trying to be aesthetically pleasing with their cinematography in a different way that they hadn't done before, and it just still felt like so immersive. Now, in terms of whether we want to say that the overdubbing when going through the songs in terms of how the actors go through it, it doesn't really feel like there's anything too negative. It doesn't rob from the experience. And I only feel that the only person who would probably find anything is just if they're nitpicking about it. It doesn't feel as though anybody's particularly flat most of the time. But just, it's so incredible. And then I guess that everything just works out for the most part. Acting goes pretty well, especially even with, like I said, they expand upon it. So they try to give it that extra flair in the same way that we had kind of those different perspectives, as in the Maleficent movie, where we kind of turned the story on its head. Here, it's not doing that. The plot is still pretty much the same. We still have the selfish prince who is cursed by an enchantress who he mistakens, or rather, just takes her appearance as an old woman to just be the basis for how he will just judge her, especially when offered the rose. So that still goes the same. He's cursed along with all of the people who live, work in the mansion with him. But of course, there were a lot of plot holes that people just like to take jabs at from time to time. Like, how is it that we don't know exactly the age or want to confirm on the age of how things went, especially when we saw that the rose would wilt when he turned 21? How is it that the castle itself doesn't seem to uh, fill into any of the holes in the story, especially because you figure if he's a prince, how is it that nobody remembers? And of course, the Stockholm Syndrome, that pretty much is the major issue between Belle and Beast's relationship. Maybe that last one doesn't technically get totally resolved, but they go through it in an interesting way so that things don't feel as rather forced as they did in the animated version. But as for the other issues, they actually fill in those gaps in a pretty cool way. I won't go into specifics here, but I enjoy the creative changes that they went through it. Either they felt like they were going to be hit with that backlash, so they felt like they were going to be prepared to change the storyline, or rather they just wanted to have fun with going at it. And let me just say, they did not stop there. They also offered some additional backstories to the characters that allowed them to be fleshed out a bit more and added to them, and it was so cool. There were some questions I didn't have going in that I got answers to, and I was like, wow, that was great. And let's not forget that there's this incredible world building moment that occurs within the movie to the point where I felt like, are we getting expanded Disney live action universe? I was like so psyched, but let's not make that a thing. That is just speculation at this point. I just found it incredible. There are also a few little references to other movies here and there and other Disney properties. So it's great. I recommend going out to see it. It's a lot of fun. I don't feel it's the type of thing that anybody will not necessarily be disengaged from unless, well, musicals aren't really your thing, or if you're not really that big a fan of the original version. But other than that, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I definitely say give it a try. So Yep, those are my thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to share your opinions about this, please do so in the comment section below. Did you find the movie to be great? Was it not exactly what you were expecting? It's all good. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a good one.